Manouk Akopyan. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our partners, personal injury attorney Nelson Gavorkian. Hi, everyone. I am joined by Jesse Bam Rodriguez, WBC super flyweight champion, one of the sport's pound-for-pound greats, getting ready to return November 9 at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia on DAZN against Pedro Guevara. Bam, the last few times we've been seeing you on the big stage, you've been a world beater. Juan Francisco Estrada, Sonny Edwards. Obviously, Pedro Guevara is not at that level, but he's still supposed to give you a tough test. What are you looking at of this fight? What are you looking at?
Like you said, it's a tough test. It's a dangerous fight just because he has nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I got to take this fight just as serious as my past two fights.
How do you get motivated and prepare when in the back of your mind you might think, you know what, Pedro is just not at the level of Estrada or Edwards, but I still got to prepare as if he's better?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a dangerous fight. He has nothing to lose. So I know he's going to come with everything he has. I know he's trading his ass off. So I know come November 9th, he's going to come very hungry to take what I have. But I mean, right now's my time, and I don't see him beating me.
Let's talk about that confidence. I'm sure your confidence is at an all-time high right now. You're beating everyone convincingly that is coming through you. What is that confidence like right now?
I mean, my confidence is high, but I remain humble. I know that just as fast as I got where I'm at, I can lose it all in one fight. So that's why I still continue to work hard every day in the gym.
Let's talk about the gym setting. You train with Robert Garcia here in Southern California. What is that like? There's so many dogs at that gym. Virgil Ortiz, Oscar Duarte, Jose Ramirez, Raymond Murataya. The list goes on and on. Yeah. You, of course, are atop that list too. But what is it like having all those guys around you?
I mean, honestly, it's a blessing. Not many fighters have, not even one champion that they train with. So to have multiple world champions with the same dream, even the prospects that are in there, they want to become world champions. So we all feed off each other's energy, and I feel like that's a huge advantage.
I know you you're based out of San Antonio, but you live in Southern California for fight camp. Even when you're not training, do you just want to go in there and watch some sparring and just be a fan, knowing that all these are some of the world's best fighters in there?
Yeah, I mean, even sometimes when I'm in the gym, I watch sparring before I train, or even after I train, I will watch some sparring. So, I mean, the sparring that goes on in there, it's better than some fights that are on TV.
Robert's been your coach your entire career. How instrumental has he been for your rise, everything you've built for yourself and your career and your family?
I mean, Robert has been the biggest blessing of my career. Without Robert, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. He managed me as well. So if I didn't have Robert, then I really wouldn't know where I'm at. It's hard for a fighter like me at my weight class to get where I am today. So I mean, not only with the coaching but managing as well, he's done his best.
When you're operating at the peak of your powers as you are right now, how do you also improve fight over fight? Can you kind of give us a glimpse of what you're looking to improve on?
Um, I mean, it's really just maintaining. I feel like I just get better naturally with the sparring that goes on in Robert's gym. I'm always sparring top-notch fighters, so I feel like just that alone, I become a better fighter.
You've mentioned sparring a few times. We have to talk about it because Román Chocolatito González, you've sparred 24 rounds with him over the last year. If the number is correct, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 24 rounds that you last said. Oh, what has that been like? Because I know there could be an opportunity that he might even be a potential opponent now.
Yeah, I mean that sparring was amazing. Anyone that watched that sparring can tell you the same. It was back and forth all 8 rounds. We sparred 3 times, 8 rounds each. So each sparring session was it was fireworks.
Would you say that the sparring was harder than some of the fights you've had?
Oh yeah, for sure, without a doubt. Yeah.
I know you respect Chocolatito. You guys come from the same promotional group as far as Tekken goes, but there's some conversations now that he might be an opponent. How serious is the possibility that you might fight Chocolatito?
I mean, it can't happen if I don't get the unification fights. That's what my coach Robert said. If those fights don't come, then a Chocolatito fight would, interest a lot of fight fans.
What weight would that be at, you think?
Probably 115, just because I have the belt at 115, so there's really no reason to fight at 118 for no belt.
Mm-hmm. Are you is that something that a fight you would look forward to, or just the numbers would have to make sense and a lot of terms would have to be right for you to take it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the it has to make sense. If it's not a title fight or the numbers aren't right, there's really no point. But most importantly, if it's not for a title, then I really don't see no point in it.
Did you ever imagine you would fight him though? Because we've had this conversation quite a few times throughout the years. You've kind of said no, and we
Yeah.
moved on. But now it's a real thing that could happen. How did it come to this?
I really don't know. I know his last fight. I think during fight week he mentioned fighting me. He would like to fight me. So, I mean, feelings mutual. I would love to go in there and share the ring with a legend.
How does that fight go? How does it play out?
I mean, it's one of those fights you have to wait and see.
Is that bookmarked for fight of the year on paper before it even happens?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
You obviously are making a case for fighter of the year as well too. Specifically though, for this one, you're taking the co-main event slot. Uh, you've been headlining your own events for the last 2 years. Why were you open to taking the co-main on this one?
Um, I mean, it's really just to get the fight, fight one more time at the end of the year, before the end of the year. I mean, just sharing the car with Boots as well. It's an honor. I saw the outcome he had his last fight, so to be a part of an event that big, it's a good opportunity for me as well to expose my career to another side of the boxing world.
Personally, I love it. I think it's the next generation of boxing that night. You're going to have you and Boots, the flag bearers, the future pound for pound stars. You have guys like Ray Ford and Tito Mercado who are on the up and up, coming up. So it's really like the next generation, the next faces of boxing on November 9. And from what I understand, this Chocolatito fight could be February 22 in Saudi Arabia again as Boots fights Virgil Ortiz, your stablemate. Is that what you're hearing as well too?
Yeah, I think that was fake news though, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw a report out there that the fight could happen. Do you have any other information that you might want to clarify with?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. The only thing I saw was what you saw on Twitter. So what you know, I know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, Let me ask you this: there was no fake news about this one. Turkey Al Sheikh recently met with Naoya Inoue. If an Inoue fight was offered to you next at 122 pounds, would you take it?
I mean, that's something we gotta discuss with the team. It's a risky fight to take just because I'm moving up two weight classes against a natural 122 pounder. So I mean, we would have to talk about that.
That's another legend that you would want to fight though in the future. Is Inoue you think a fight that could happen?
Yeah, of course. Down the line, I've said it plenty of interviews. It's just a matter of time before it does happen.
Take us through kind of what the ideal next 2 years look like for you. You're at 115 pounds right now. How soon do you want to move across the divisions?
Um, at 115, I want to try my best to go undisputed. Like the I said earlier in a past interview that the IBF was just vacated, so it might be a little harder to go undisputed now. But I mean, I want to accomplish what I can at 115 and go from there. I'm not really want to look too far into the future just because I have fights now that I need to focus on. So as far as my next two fights, I want to accomplish what I can at 115.
You have a lot of motivation inside the ring with boxing, with all the fights that could be presented to you. Outside of boxing, you're a father, first time dad to a daughter. How has that been?
It's amazing having my daughter. Just having her around. It's a huge blessing. She's changed my life, changed my motivation. It's at a whole different level now.
How you have her with you during camp? How has that been? A lot of people
Yeah.
kind of just move away from the family, but how has that been? Just having your daughter around with you?
It's cool. It's different for sure. Obviously, I've never been a father, so to have a baby in camp, it's different. But I have my girlfriend here as well, and she helps out a lot. My baby's actually right there making noise, so it's amazing having them here. It's like I'm living back home in San Antonio, but I'm out here working for my next fight.
Against Pedro Guevara, November 9. Bam, before I let you go, what's the promise you want to make?
I just want to just know my hand will be raised November 9th.